Hello folks and welcome to the channel. It's all about racing. And it really is all about racing. Today I'm going to rank the brands from least worthy to the most worthy of your consideration when you're looking at purchasing a vehicle. Now I'm going to rule out brands that are heavy in NASCAR, rally cars, or Formula One. I'm basically looking at GT race cars, prototypes, types of cars that you see racing in IMSA, in the World Endurance Championship, American Le Mans Series, and the likes, kind of like you see from the poster there. So, to start it off, in last place, at the bottom of the list, I have Action. The reason I choose Action as the last is, one, they don't have a very good selection of good quality cars that fit this criteria. In fact, this Panas Esperante was virtually the only car they had of any interest at all that I bought. The highlights of it was that it was one of a limited group of 2,444 pieces, and that's a highlight. The rest of it are lowlights. The paint on the car was very, very thick. There was a massive paint chip on the front fender, and this car was sold to me as new. But nevertheless, I'm not surprised that the paint chipped the way that it did. The finish was not good. The car overall was very nice, but consequently, because of the fact that they don't make very many cars, and the quality of this car was exceptionally poor, and quite frankly, it's the only Action car that I own, and probably the last one I will ever buy, I rate it last. Next on the list, and this is probably going to surprise you, is Auto Art. The reason for this is Auto Art's selection in this particular type of cars is very, very poor. Again, I was looking for a Panas Esperante. I found one, and it's a good quality car. Not great. I mean, this is not the Auto Art of old. Well, maybe it is the Auto Art of old. I don't know. I have one of their 118 cars. I have a Corvette. It's phenomenal. This car is not bad, but it's not great. The selection of their cars is really very, very poor, second only to that of Action, and consequently, I rate this car next to last. Next on the list is Borago. Borago makes a lot of cars, and I mean they make a lot of cars. And 143 scale racing cars, they really only have two classes. What I consider the very lowest class, and then something better, but just not great. There are a lot of Borago cars that you can get that sell for $10 or $15, and to me, they're basically a mini GT car scale and 143 scale, and that doesn't say much. In fact, it says nothing. I own none of them, would never consider buying any of them. However, this car was unique. This was part of a Ferrari collection by Borago, and I'll turn the box around here. They made a whole bunch of different cars. Most of them are very, very nice, and for 25 bucks, it's a really good buy. But because Borago doesn't make a whole lot of 143 race scale cars, I have this brand basically third from last. Next on the list is IXO. Folks, if you want cars, IXO has just about anything and everything that you could want. They make all sorts of cars, from older cars like the DBR9, special packaging like this came in. I mean, very, very cool. Very, very nice. Very, very unique. Then they have the 24 Hours of Le Mans collection like you see over here with the Audi. Again, a very, very nice car. And then there's the new limited edition cars that they have out. And let me tell you, folks, these cars are about as close to Spark as you're going to get, but they're not Spark. I think virtually all the cars that they make and that you could purchase now on eBay are worth collecting because they do make some phenomenal cars. And for the money, they are absolutely terrific. And quite frankly, you can get that car like that Porsche over there on the right, the number 93 car, for about 50 bucks. Same car in Spark might cost you 80 to 100, and it's almost as good. The only difference being, quite frankly, are little details and things like that. Otherwise, they make pretty good quality cars. I highly recommend Spark. In fact, Spark is one of the brands that I always search for. IXO. IXO is one of the brands that I always search for. I strongly recommend them. If you want a good car, good quality car for the money, they're it. But they're just not the best. Next, I have Fujimi. Fujimi, an older company that, quite frankly, no longer exists, and I am told is now a part of the Looksmart brand, is next on this list. These are exceptionally good quality cars. They come in nice jewel cases, fancy boxes, and they tend to be older Ferraris for the most part. As you can see, every single one of the ones that I have, and these are the 3 that I own, are all Ferraris. They're good quality cars. The reason that they rank on this list as they do is because they're just a very, very limited selection of cars. The car company basically doesn't exist anymore, and therefore, trying to find Fujimi cars can be somewhat hard. They are pricey, and that is another drawback. But they do make exceptionally good quality cars. I think they make a better quality car than does IXO, but again, the choice is extremely limited. Okay, next on the list is TSM, or True Scale Models. Folks, these guys make a lot of good cars. They are good, high-quality cars. In fact, I'd say they're exceptional. They come in very nice jewel cases. I absolutely love their bases. They're white. They almost look like showroom-perfect bases. But the cars themselves are excellent. Their details are phenomenal. I would rate them close to top of my list if I could, for only one reason, and one reason only, is that their number of cars that they make and that are available are extremely limited compared to other companies that are going to be higher on this list. But otherwise, there you have it, TSM. Now we're going to get to the runner-up and the number 1 brand. And the runner-up brand is Looksmart. Folks, this was a really, really hard decision because Looksmart, in my opinion, make the highest quality cars available in 143 scale on the market, bar none. Unfortunately, all they make are Ferraris, literally. But if you want a Ferrari, Looksmart is it. These cars are pricey, but they are exceptional. And for that reason, and that reason alone, they are the runner-up. They come in very nice jewel cases on plastic bases with nice aluminum identification tags, and their boxes are of exceptional quality. They're all Ferrari themed. They are gorgeous, folks. These are phenomenal cars, but because of their extremely, and I do mean extremely, limited selection of vehicles, they get the runner-up spot. Folks, and finally, the number 1 brand I think that you should collect in 143 scale is Spark. Folks, Sparks make everything, and I do mean everything. They are almost a one-stop shop if you want to buy good, high-quality 143 scale cars. They make everything from the collector set, like you see here, that 1970 Legacy set, which I haven't even reviewed yet. They have the dealer's limited edition cars, limited quantities. They have the 24 Hours of Le Mans series from just about every era. Basically, I collect 2011 and up. They make older cars. I just haven't gotten any of those yet, as my interest is more in modern sports cars. And then they make the other limited edition cars that compete in such series as Spa, the 24 Hours of Daytona, and the Nürburgring. Folks, there's nothing they don't make. The quality of the cars are second to none, almost. Only Looksmart, I think, making a better looking car than they make. However, they make everything. And if you do a search for 143 scale race cars on eBay, Spark are going to come up with thousands and thousands of cars. And virtually every car that they make is going to be exceptional. In fact, there was only one car that I gave a negative review for, a Spark that I own in my collection. That was a Corvette, simply because the taillights, and it was that number 64 one that you see right there, were painted and did not have plastic inserts, which I just find unacceptable for a 143 scale car. But otherwise, everything that they make is phenomenal. They make the only series of cars that I'm aware of that have extremely limited quantities, like this one. 174 of 300. They have the dealership edition cars, which are normally only available through Porsche dealerships, but you can buy them on eBay. And then they have box sets like this set here. the 91 RSR and the 917 car from 1970. Just beautiful cars, great sets, great quality. Prices vary. You can get them as low as $50 on up to $100 and more. I've even gotten a couple for less than $30, believe it or not. And that box set right there, $120. Phenomenal deal. Anyhow, folks, that is it. Number one is Spark. In my opinion, the best collecting brand in 143 scale on the market. I would love to know your thoughts on what you think, how you might rank the cars differently than I did, based on the criteria that I have listed, and if there are other brands you think that I have missed that I should include. Thank you so much.